Hello, everyone. Let's get started. Today is 2021, March 1st. This is the MultiLarge Working Group weekly meeting. And let's get started from the first item in the agenda. First one was from me. Basically, that's a follow-up from the last meeting. There was a request of additional hands on the pages of migration. We got a former release backend engineer from the fulfillment to help. And Camille, you want to verbalize your comment? Well, yeah, Camille just joined. Camille, I just verbalized the first item. You want to verbalize your comment under that?
Yes, so thank you, John. Like we managed to talk today with the Etienne that is gonna working with us. And actually, like we started discussing like how to approach that. But I think like the general idea is like that maybe we just improve overall our storage configuration to kind of provide a disabled type of the switch to truly like disable disk type of the access for the cloud native. At least this is like the current intent behind the stuff that we talked today. Because like with the current storages, we don't really have a way to ensure that we never store data locally. There is no such config option or like the such way to disable that. So there is like some chance that with the help of the Etienne, we may approach that in a generic way and like propagate that as well to all the environments that would benefit from that, presumably most the cloud native, where you don't have shared storage, only the object store.
Thank you, Camille. Questions? Okay, let's move on to next one. Josh, over to you.
This is a follow-up from last week. We had the 3 items on the Kubernetes service migration blockers. A is done. Thank you. I think it was Jason. If not, thank you. Remember who did it. It's already finished. B will be picked up by the delivery team. Thank you for contributing that. And C was determined to not be as important as the other 2. And so we've tentatively scheduled for 13 and 11. Hopefully we'll be able to get the OpenShift operator beta out in 13.10, which will free up some time in 13.11, and we can pick it up. So that's the plan here on these 3 items.
Thank you, Josh. Any questions? Okay, next one is also yours, Josh.
Yep, this is also an outcome of last week. Stated your concerns around dog fooding. Opened up this epic. Definitely a good call out that we don't have this today. So I tried to enter some items that I was aware of. Others, please do take a look at that list, and let's make sure it's relatively complete, and we can start tracking some of these items. One item, just I think based on your concerns set around dog fooding, is I do want to highlight that we have had a lot of success with the delivery team contributing to the Helm charts. You saw this above. We also have John alone, who has 43 merged MRs to the charts, which has been great. Really appreciate all the efforts the delivery team is making here, and all the, the partnership and the reviews from the distribution team. So that has been working pretty well. I think that model. Awesome. Thank you for the action here. Appreciate it. Yep. There's a couple other items we're discussing, like switching to the Omnibus provided Postgres, maybe in the PG12 timeframe. So there's a couple issues there to follow up on, but yeah.
Yeah, just thanks for me too. Everyone can read the update though. We can move on.
Okay, Camille, over to you.
We actually started serving the migrated data, the one that we have, which is like excluding like the expected missing public, which is like about 99% of all the projects to migrate. We actually got to 25% today, but we rolled it back to 10% because of some pages capacity problems that seem truly unrelated. But just to be on the safe side, we decided to roll back for a second. Actually, we are kind of looking into why it is happening, but it appears to be more like the not pages itself problem, or like the system level configuration that limits amount of the connections that a given node can, or like the given process can accept at the given time. You can read more details into that. We just probably, if we figure out, we're gonna resume rolling out the migrated data tomorrow.
Any questions or ideas? Okay, then moving on to next section, what's happening next? Amy, you have the first item.
Yeah, so thanks to distribution's efforts, we are now continuing on with migrating the API service. We have got some new errors, but it's been labeled as a blocker, but we'll unblock those within delivery. So hoping to make it through to Canary in the next week or so.
Jason, you want to verbalize?
Yeah, just I wanted to call out, I went ahead and added a couple labels to make sure it showed up on the working group board. This is something that I do actually watch. This one kind of slipped under the radar initially.
Appreciate it, thanks.
Amy, I also want to say thank you for the delivery team for picking up some of the development work as the distribution team is stretched at this point for the 13.10 release. Thank you very much. Cool, Grant, you have the next item?
Yeah, so it's just a quick update on the discussion that we had last week about Helm support in the GitLab environment toolkit. I was of the opinion that it wasn't really viable in the sense that you just need to run a Helm command, but you know, when you get into it again, you start to remember all the little things you need to do to actually get to that point, such as set up the cluster and getting the config just right and everything else. And I realized actually there is quite a lot of things we can do here to help the automation of it. So I'm working on it literally as we speak, adding Helm support in, and obviously it'll take some time because Kubernetes is speed in Kubernetes doesn't go when it comes to development. So, but hopefully I'll have something to share next week.
Yeah. See, do you want to mention your one word comment here? Okay, see says awesome. And I also want to add one comment here. Yeah, this is also critical to another initiative we are working on. The other working group is working on. Thank you very much. This is great for that working group as well.
No problem.
Okay, Camille, you have the last item on the agenda.
Yeah, so like last week we kind of had the capacity problem on like people being partially unavailable, so we didn't manage to like run the next wave of the migration. We managed to validate all the outstanding failures, so we don't know exactly what it's gonna be after the fourth wave. And now we are kind of waiting for the fourth wave to happen, which should leave us with the 109 projects left that have different kind of like symlink violations, failures that we already should have cover for. So I just hope that this week we just get to 109 projects left as the migration goes. And I just hope that also that we get to 100 out of these 99% that we get migrated to be served on GitLab pages. So this is the goal for this weekend, for this week.
Thank you, Camille. That's the end of the agenda. Any other topics we want to discuss? Going once.
Hey, John. Oh,
yeah.
I was looking at the board. I wanted to make sure that we're all like looking at the right board. You created a new one called MultiLarge Board. Is that inclusive of everything in here? And because I see another board at the top of the agenda.
Yeah, so
I wanted to make sure I understood the context around those.
Yeah, so these two boards, as I highlighted here, those are two new boards as the boards for the next step, second step, which is moving the web API and the pages nodes. So those are the boards we are currently working on. The master board is still there. I haven't checked if that board needs to be updated, but these two boards are the the issues we need to work on from a development perspective and an infrastructure perspective. The reason of the two boards is we cannot combine these two projects, two groups in one board. So that's
Gotcha.
why
I guess it was that third board at the top, the would you call it the master
the
board?
second one, this one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the initial board. I guess I would say that's a master board, but for now, as we are moving towards the second step, moving the web API and pages nodes, these two boards are the issues we need to pay attention at this stage. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for the context on that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question. Other questions? Okay, 20 minutes back to everyone and have a good Monday.